Well, welcome back to Stunt Hanger videos. I'd like to talk about this airplane today. I really like to fly my electric airplane, but seeing as that the weather here is kind of uncooperative, it doesn't look like I'm going to have time to get the Viper trimmed out. The airplane you see here, I built it in '07, so it's 7 years old. Well, '06 I built it, flew it in '07 at the '07 Nats, and I probably did the best I ever did while competing at the Nats. I got 21st. I was a 3rd point off of making the cut. So I mean, to some that's not a big deal, but to me it is. I want to make top 20. So what I think I'm going to do this year, and I've been thinking about it for the last few days, is I'm going to go over this model and bring it up to Nat standards again. There's a few small spots on it, on the leading edges, that have some nicks and things, and I'm going to go ahead and touch them up. Now the model is already heavy. It's a 70-ounce model, and it's really not a joy to fly in the wind. But it is trimmed out. It's the airplane that I'm most comfortable with. I've won quite a few contests with it. So as I have been told, you need to fly your best flying airplane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to bring it back to Nat's quality. Now let me explain some of the things that I've done and have done here. These are the old wheel pants off of it. If you notice here, the paint is gone. Well, I used to smoke, and these models hung in my workshop here, and in 5 years of smoking up against this model, it just yellowed it terribly. It's been 2 years since I smoked, so it hasn't been subject to any nicotine. Well, what I did 2 years ago is I tried to get the yellowing off with naphtha, and some of it came off, and this is a urethane finish, and I thought, well, urethane's impervious to lacquer thinner. Well, guess what? It's not. It took the paint off in quite a few areas. On the bottom, next to the pipe tunnel, there's an area, and we're going to address that as well. You can see at the tail there, let me get it around here. Right here, the paint, there's a paint area. So, because it's going to be hard to match the white, I thought I would paint another trim color there. Possibly red. I still have that red. And there's some heat damage around the pipe tunnel. So we'll sand that and paint that, but it looks like it's going to get a red stripe on the bottom of the airplane. And if I do that, this was a 19-point airplane. It'll probably be back there. 18 anyway. And it does fly really well. It has a PA-75 in it on a pipe. I'm using the Meslick propeller and the Smith pipe in it. I upgraded the wheels this year. I'm using the electric wheels on this airplane this year. While the light flight wheels were sufficient, I just decided that the Max products, they were lighter and they look better, so I put them on there. So this was the introductory to the touching up of the Continental, and this is a model I designed after Tom Warden's Continental. It has the same paint job, which is actually Art Shull's paint job from the Chipmunk. And the Continental in 1969 basically cemented itself into my mind as the epitome of stunt aircraft. So on the dashboard here I have a little magazine with Tom Warden's picture, Model Airplane News. This airplane featured in 1971 in Model Airplane News. I have that magazine. Tom was a finisher and a builder like you can't believe. He was our tester's rep when my dad had his hobby shop. Along with Vic Cunningham, I think he was with Pettit Products. Vic Cunningham is a free flight guy. He designed a Galaxy or some airplane like that. And him and his dad. So what I'm going to do here, first I don't have any prep saw or anything like that. So I got some Windex, and we're going to try to de-wax this thing, get all the schmutz off of it. It's that's a windy word or whatever. I've been listening to too many windy videos, I guess. There's another craftsman. Well, he builds rather heavy, and I got kind of wrapped up into that, especially like on this model. And mostly what weighs on this airplane is the paint. This airplane would have been a super nice model if it were 10 ounces lighter, and I wouldn't mind flying it in the wind at the Nationals. But instead of being a backup airplane, I think it's going to be a frontline airplane this year, because I just don't have the time to get my electric program back on track. And I got to do whatever it takes, because if I don't make the cut this year, even though I like going, I don't think I'll be going back. It's just too costly. There are a lot of good flyers for you people who have not been to the Nationals. It's hard to make the cut when you're flying against Paul Walkers and Billy Werwages and Howard Rushes and Doug Moon, and those guys are really good. So everybody's beatable, and if the Nationals was at the end of the season instead of the beginning of the season for where I live, I might have a chance, because I fly much better at the end of the season than I do at the beginning, because I just don't have the time to practice. But as I promised, I would do a video every day. I got to get off to the hobby shop to get some glue so we can get back on the other project, and the weather is just horrendous. It's overcast, the wind is blowing. I think it was, maybe it was 2006 at the Nationals. I had my first Thunderbolt there, and I let Bob Hunt fly that. The wind blew about 10,000 miles an hour. It was just unbelievable. There's been a few times that I have opted just not to fly, because it would be better to come home with an airplane than to try to make the cut when you know it's very difficult, and lose an airplane in the wind from foolishness. So, but I'll spend, oh boy, we got a loose hinge here. I'm glad I checked this thing out. I'm gonna have to re-glue all them. Wow, that would have been a disaster. I must have used that hinge glue on it. I'll never use that again. I'll use epoxy only. I lost one thunderbolt from a flat coming off because I didn't use epoxy for hinges. Anyway, instead of boring you with me wiping down an airplane, I'll cut the video, I'll post this up so you know that I'm still thinking about doing the videos. And when I get it all cleaned up, I'll come back and I'll show you how I'm going to doctor some of these things up. Paint repair. And this is a difficult paint repair because it's dope over urethane. And that's a no-no. But I think I can do it. So, thanks for watching the next short clip. I'll try to make them longer, but as soon as I have some content to get into them, I certainly don't want to bore you with things that are just kind of mundane. So it's kind of fun doing these videos. I understand why Wendy liked doing them now. So we will see you on the next go-round, the next insertion of Stunt Hanger videos, which will be probably later on today. And until then, tight line.